Hey there. So, with the Flash movie finally being released, I thought now would be a good time to look at the first time that Batman and the Flash teamed up. And that is here in Brave and the Bold, number 67. And this is the September 1966 issue. So, Brave and the Bold, of course, was a Batman team-up book where each month he would have an adventure with another superhero. And so let's take a look here at this one. So this is the first time that him and Flash sort of just teamed up together without, the Justice League and everybody else. So right off the bat, we've got this pretty big splash page here of Batman holding Flash's body. And so this story is called The Death of the Flash. Nice kind of Carmine Infantino shot here. Again, a great artist to draw this, as he was the one who sort of created the Barry Allen Flash, and he was working on Batman around this time too, sort of starting the new look Batman with the oval around the bat symbol. So then we start off the story here. We're introduced to a slew of robberies around Gotham City, where the thieves all wear tuxes, but they have sneakers on. And so this first one is robbing an auction, and he's able to actually outrun the Batmobile here on the street. So we've got Batman kind of taking the corners pretty sharp here, up on two wheels a couple times on this page, and loses the criminal down the alley. And next up we have a sort of a charity casino situation. And the thief comes in with a vacuum and kind of sucks up all the money off the table. Then here, so since they were able to outrun the Batmobile, we have Batman now in the Whirly Bat. So I always like seeing the Whirly Bat in these old stories. It was just sort of like a one-seater helicopter sort of vehicle that Batman used to have back in the day. They'll show it every now and then. It'll come back up. It's more like an Easter egg. I know it was in one of the Lego Batman games. It was real quick on an episode of the old Justice League cartoon. Got some fun old house ads here. We got one here with Jimmy Olsen, and then some of the Model Kit ads from back in the day you used to see all the time in the 60s. But then here we have Batman wrecking the Whirly Bat, and the criminal gets away again. And then we have a third scenario here where one of the thieves is stealing the key to the city. And now Batman has sort of a small personal jetpack here that he uses to go after them. And they still manage to get away from him even with that. So then we have Commissioner Gordon kind of telling Batman, this is like the first time you failed. They're able to get away from you here. Then we cut to Central City, where Flash is stopping some crooks, and he's real winded at the end of it. He's exhausted, like something physical is going on with him. Then he goes to this doctor that tells him that he is going to die if he keeps using his powers, basically. Now, I know this was a story idea that they took later on, and they used with Wally later in the 90s, I think. So it's interesting seeing that show up here, too, back in the day with Barry Allen. Then we've got another little couple, just a one-page text piece that you see back in the day. And then we have this public service announcement, the policeman is your friend, telling kids to trust cops. We've got Tom here telling the kids to talk to the cops if they need help. I think Tom's a narc. Then we continue the second part here of The Death of the Flash, where Batman is reaching out to Barry Allen via a Justice League communicator, saying that he needs help with these speed crooks that are attacking Gotham. So then Flash, I'm trying to make, what was it here? Yeah, Flash takes the train to Gotham so he won't use up more of his speed powers and kill himself. But then when he comes to Gotham, he sees one of the criminals running by, and he sort of spears him off the bridge here onto a garbage scow. And after the altercation, the sneakers burn off of the crook, And they say that the crook's okay because he was wearing asbestos socks. So I guess if the plan doesn't work to get all their money through crimes, they'll be good with the mesothelioma settlement later on. So then later on, we cut to the Accelerated Gentlemen's Club, which is where the criminals who call themselves the Speed Boys are all gathered. And for some reason here, they're all wearing tuxes and sneakers, but they also all wear bags over their heads. So these guys are running around Gotham wearing asbestos socks, and they all have bags over their heads, and they don't really show like any holes. I think there might be eye holes in them, but maybe not the way this is drawn. Those might just be like indentions in the detail on the face. But yeah, probably not the smartest crooks here. So then later on, there's a parade going on. Flash is working with Batman. Now, Flash still hasn't told Batman about his condition right now. He just thinks he's here to help out. But then they see what they think is a child steal a necklace from the parade and run off with the super speed. And to sort of apprehend him, Batman throws a batarang at what he thinks is a child's face. So, nice move, Batman. They find out later, after the criminal's unconscious, that it's a little person, not really a child. But Flash falls over in exhaustion. Again, he's been pushing himself too much here. Then we show some of the Speed Boys watching from a nearby location. And Batman takes Flash to a doctor where they realize about the Flash's condition and that he is killing himself by keep using his speed ability. So the Speed Boys hear about this and decide that, hey, Flash can't stop us if he's dead, so we'll just try to keep him running. We do have a neat shot here of Flash riding in the Batmobile with Batman. That's something you usually don't see. Flash doesn't usually travel in vehicles in any comics. Usually just runs everywhere he needs to go. So it's kind of neat seeing someone else riding in the Batmobile with Batman. You know, that's not Robin. So then we have a jewelry store heist, and then they're going after an antique store and different things, and they're sort of throwing the loot to each other to kind of play keep away from Flash here. Finally, Flash collapses. He's exhausted. Commissioner Gordon and Batman see this televised message from the Speed Boys saying that Flash is dead. So then Batman tracks them down. He sees a clue in the background of the broadcast that gives him a hint to their location. And so Batman finds them at the Accelerated Gentlemen's Club and goes down the chimney like Santa here. It's interesting seeing that instead of Batman smashing through a window or busting through a door or something like that. He sprays oil from his utility belt, which slips up all the Speed Boys so they can't attack him, and he then ropes them up. One of them flees from Batman. He's the leader. I don't know if they ever I don't think they give him a name in this story, though. He's just leader of the Speed Boys. He shoots Batman and jumps out a window. Then we have Flash showing back up, chasing down the Speed Boy and tripping him into a fountain. Turned out Batman's okay. And the sneakers that the Speed Boy uses are radiated, and somehow that radiation cured the Flash's sickness. Comic book logic from the 60s, you know. Then we have at the end a homeless man finding like the last pair of the Speed Boy shoes, and a little teaser here at the end. Is this the end or the start of another Way Out adventure? You tell us. So apparently, had there been enough fan demand, they would have brought back the Speed Boys at some point, or you know, told the story of this homeless man with the last pair of shoes, as all the other Speed Boys go off to prison. Yeah, then a couple more, you know, old school ads. We got the Army guys, you know, the big 200-piece Army guy set, and then an old school G.I. Joe ad here. Kind of fun seeing the old ads there. Yeah, so not the best Batman Flash story, but the first time they just kind of teamed up together without, you know, the Justice League and everybody else. I got this comic at a swap meet in the early 90s. It's not in as good a shape as I remember, but it's been probably, you know, almost 30 years since I've read this one. Again, always love the checkers at the top of the old 60s books. Yeah, so just sort of a fun story here. Again, not as crazy as some of the Brave and the Bold books we get later on. I'm pretty sure this is Bob Haney writing this. Again, it's, you know, mid-60s, so there's no credits here. You know, we have Carmine Infantino's signature here on the first page, and it's obviously his art style. But yeah, kind of a fun book. I'll probably look at some more Brave and the Bold stuff later, just because Bob Haney got so crazy with some of those stories. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, so I think that's about it for this one. Be sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter accounts at Detective651. And be sure to check out my t-shirt store at tpublic/user/Detective651. There's always, you know, sales going on pretty regularly on there. A lot of nerdy t-shirts and coffee mugs and hoodies and different fun things you can get with my designs on them. But yeah, have you read this one? I'm pretty sure this was reprinted in one of the Brave and the Bold omnibuses. I need to double check, but I would think this is on the DC Universe app too if you want to read it. Check it out for yourself if you can't find the original issue. But yeah, let me know what you thought. I know there are other good Batman Flash crossovers. Might take a look at some of those. We'll see. And thanks for watching.